Oh my goodness, everybody. Welcome to the Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight podcast, where we hear from influential leaders and their game-changing insights. I'm Jaclyn, your host, and today I want to welcome our amazing guest, Joanie Neenan. Oh my God. First of all, you guys, as you're listening, Joni and I know each other. We go way back. We've had some great experiences, but she is so badass. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background on Joni. So Joni is a passionate entrepreneur who loves to help others find happiness, independence, and create a vision of abundance. With over 20 years of experience in creating and leading national organizations, she has been recognized in top organizational sales, personal sales, recruiting, leadership, and business development. She is a star executive director for LimeLife by Alcone, a global company providing professional makeup and non-toxic, all-natural skin and hair care products. And Joni believes that everything happens for a reason, and you should embrace where you are and remember to trust and believe in your journey. So, Joni, I am so excited. Okay, seriously, to my guests, my amazing guests who are listening. First of all, Joni and I have known each other, and we crossed paths. But she is one of those leaders who really lifts everybody up. So when we first met, we were at opposing companies, but she was still so helpful. She gave me some tips. I still remember we were selling jewelry and she's use, oh my God.
The shower, the bag thing.
Yeah, the shower caps. Anyway, so she's always giving, she's always there to help other people, not just the people on her team. And then I had the amazing pleasure to be actually on her team, and she truly is a great leader. Joni, again, welcome. All about leadership and game-changing insights. And before we get into yours, I always love asking this question. What is a defining moment for you in your leadership journey that transformed how you lead? And tell us a little bit about your story with that question.
I love that. First of all, Jaclyn, I am so excited to be here. I just love that we met so many years ago, and I'm just so proud of your journey and how you're helping so many people. And I literally have goosebumps. I'm so excited. It's so funny when I think about my journey. I got into that leadership role pretty quickly when I started my career, and it was really by accident. And I always thought of myself as that accidental leader, right? Which I think a lot of us do, especially if you go into those leadership roles quickly because you're just loving what you're doing, right? And it just happens naturally. So I think I struggled with that for many years and just thinking, oh, accidental leader. But as I learned and grew in my own self-confidence, I really feel like I grew in my leadership confidence. And I feel like one of the most defining moments in my career is when I learned that coaching people and helping people develop to what their potential is and what in them that they may not see for themselves. And sometimes having those hard conversations. I'm a people pleaser, right? I want everybody to be happy and not great with conflict. But sometimes when you see that spark in somebody or that passion in somebody, to have them bring it out in themselves is so rewarding.
Yeah, it is so rewarding. And something that you just said actually just gave me a little bit of a moment of what leadership is. And you said coaching to potential and having hard conversations. And that is in my brain, I think that is one of the key points for every leader, no matter where you are. And maybe it's not, sometimes that word coaching isn't, it gets in the way, but it's in actuality, we think about it where we're helping people figure out their own mission and knowing their mission and helping bring that out in people and then watching them soar. So when you think about that, do you have any people in your life that helped you? Like, who are those people that helped you bring out your best?
So I love personal development. I love reading books. I love taking courses. I took the Tony Robbins course, which was amazing. I did that during COVID. Nikki Kehoe was another one. I took a lot of her coaching classes
Yeah.
and learned all about being that, because you're coming from a place of love, right? You're coming from your heart. It's that heartfelt leadership that, so when you're having those conversations, you just have to remember that you're doing it for their benefit, for their potential. But I do feel like all leaders should never stop learning, should
Mhm.
never stop growing, should never stop with personal development. Lori Hayes is another one that I've taken a lot of classes with.
Yeah.
And I just feel like each one of those brings you to the next level, and working on your mindset, working on your subconscious, and your belief system is just so powerful. And you can change the way you think and the way you believe.
It is so true. And our belief and our mindset it's so important to how we operate for ourselves and what we're putting out and the energy that we're putting out for others. As a leader in your organization, because your organization is growing, what do you attribute to helping your leaders grow?
That's a great question, Jaclyn, right? Because you do want to continue to grow. It's so important to do that. And I think just working with them closely, we have an amazing community here at LimeLife by Alcone. And I think working with them to offer those opportunities to other people and to think about what it can do for that other person. So many people get so bogged down with it's about them, it's about them, it's about them when they're chatting with others about opportunities or growth or whatever. But it's really not about you, it's about that other person. And I always love to help our leaders reflect on what has this business done for you. Like when you look back on your career, what do you see?
Right.
Right? What do you see? How have you grown? What have you done? And those opportunities are just a place where, wow, I've come a long way. When Jack says that about me all the time, Jaclyn, is like, you have grown exponentially. And I can't imagine not being in this business.
It's actually, I always say LimeLife is a network marketing company, and I was in network marketing for years, and I really, and people say this a lot, and I truly believe this, which is network marketing is actually personal development is wrapped up in a product, and you
Yes.
really grow it, and you really come into your own in that. So, thinking about your team and your organization, we were talking obviously about building up those leaders, but let's something that I know that you do very well, and that is creating a culture of high performance in the organization. So I'm curious, like, what strategies do you think that you really use to help create that high performance culture, but with a smile?
I think goal setting
Yep.
is super important, right? So we've heard that for years. And I remember when I first started in this industry, I'm like, goal setting, blah, 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 because that's what people talk about. But I really feel like digging down into what are they looking for in this business? What do you really want? And what's their why? Which is huge. Like people don't realize how important that is. What is your why? Because your why has to be bigger than your excuses. Your why has to be bigger than your fears. And when I first started in this, I was putting my boys through private school. So I had to make those phone calls. I had to do those parties and sell those products and recruit people and build my business because that bill came every month, whether I was working or not. I'm like, oh, and I'm very proud of that I was able to put my three boys through private school, but to really dig down with our leaders and think about their why, because it does change. It changes as your life changes. And really zeroing in on, okay, what do you really want?
Yeah.
And what are you willing to do to get there? That's another big thing is so many people say, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month or whatever, but they don't want to work or they don't want to give the time. So it's there, you have to match their, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a mental block.
Well, you need to
Effort.
actually match their energy and their efforts, right?
Yes.
So in that same vein, not everybody is meant to be a leader. So as you said, like some people might say that they want that. So what do you think what are you doing to help that person either make that decision or help them see the potential in themselves or not?
So some people, they come into this business and they just want to sell. And that's okay too. We need everybody. But I think those ones that want to help people have that servant heart and can see the bigger vision of what this business can do to for others, and tapping into that energy of, I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve people. I'm here to make this world a better place, to have people live their potential, live their dreams, and to not let fear get in their way, because fear is such a huge thing and it can stop you in your tracks. And when you have a different perspective on fear and changing your mindset around fear, I feel like that is like a big magical moment for people, and just to have them think about that.
Yeah. So you had shared, obviously, when you started in this business, you know, obviously the bills are coming and it was something that, and you got to leadership quick. What do you think there one or two like game changing insights that helped you become the servant leader that you are? It was, we don't always start out that way.
I have always been, even as a little girl, I'm always the one that wants to make sure everything is copacetic, that there's calmness and harmony and fun. And I think when I started in this business, I was just having so much fun. And I had three little boys, I had a traveling husband, and it felt so good to do something for myself,
Mm.
right? And I think I had that inner joy of, oh my gosh, like this is so great. Like I love being a mom, I love being Jack's wife. But for that moment when I started, people were recognizing me as me. Oh my God, Joni, I wasn't somebody's mom, I wasn't somebody's wife. I was just somebody who was enjoying what they were doing and finding great success in that. And I feel like when you have that inner joy, you want other people to have that inner joy. Like I want everybody to have that inner joy and that energy and that confidence booster, and just being surrounded by people that lift you up.
Right. And that what's you're as you're talking and you're sharing this, it's very the things that are resonating, it's like your own personal mission came out, knowing that you were doing something that, again, doing something that you loved. And it's something that you became passionate about. It was fun. Whether or not it was, whether you could have loved the product, but you were actually just having fun. And that came out and people got to see it. And we've said this a lot, your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's that same thing, whether you're in a network marketing company, whether you're in an entrepreneurial situation or you're in a massive Fortune 500, 100, 1,000 company, the leaders need to share their mission and their passion and their excitement with it. So I know you share that, but so how do you share it with your team? How do you help your vibe rub off on your team?
I think too is creating the culture that you want on your team, I think is very important. We do weekly calls, which I love because it's that community of building. And I think just having that close connection with the people on your team. Some of these ladies, Jaclyn, have been with me for 10, 15 years, and they're like my family. They're my sisters. I get so excited to see them. And, in this business, it's a roller coaster ride, right? It's up, it's down, it's sideways, it's everywhere. And supporting one another and not letting that negativity come in. There is negativity everywhere, right? So everybody has their down moments, but not letting that negativity creep into the culture of your team. I think that's very important. And when you do have those negative people, having that hard conversation with them and saying, okay, like, I know how you feel, but let's take this offline and chat about it. You know what I mean? Rather than on a big team call. Because I think when one starts, the other one starts, the other one starts, the other one starts. And it's just, that's not the way the team meetings, we want those team meetings to be a place of inspiration.
Yeah.
And even like brainstorming about problems that or troubles or objections. I don't feel like that's negativity because you're brainstorming
Right.
those solutions, which
Yeah.
is great. But just pure negativity is just something that our team is wonderful and we don't go down that rabbit hole. And I think making that clear is important because
You know,
I
and-
want our team to
yeah.
be safe.
And I think that's so important and so true because you hear again in big company, small company, you hear about how negative chatter can actually bring things down. But in actuality, that's one of those things that almost like needs to be squashed. And if there is negative chatter, then it's having that hard conversation with those people to say, if there's a problem and if you're feeling that there is something negative, let's talk about
Yeah,
that so that
exactly.
we can find a way to turn that positive.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm like thinking about like people walking in the water cooler complaining about
Yeah.
stuff like when I was in corporate America and you're all of a sudden it's negative it breeds and it breeds
Yes.
company. But positivity is can just be so uplifting and changing. Couple questions. So thinking of your leadership, what legacy do you want to leave as a leader? And how do you ensure you're creating a legacy in your daily actions?
These are great questions. Like,
Joni,
God,
like,
you're
where did you
brilliant.
get that? You're stopping me. No.
I know, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. I love it. It's so great because you do want to create a legacy. Like when you leave this earth, right? Your moments, your memories, your things that you've talked about, I hope will carry on for generations and generations. So I think leaving a legacy of belief in yourself and just teaching that to other people because or creating those memories with your leaders, with your team, with the people that you're walking this journey with, whether that's convention or running for a huge goal together. Because I think when you all come together as one, so many great things can happen. And showing people too, Jaclyn, that you can do hard things. You can get over those humps. And I think knowing that just has your legacy go on and on. And teaching, if I can teach somebody to feel confident or to see something in themselves that they can't see, and then they do that for somebody else, that's a win. That's such, I literally have goosebumps. Like that just makes me so fired up because it's a ripple effect, right? You do that for a person, they do that for a person, they do that for a person. And that legacy of believing in yourself and trusting your gut and not being afraid to do things will continue on and on.
Yeah, that is so true. And it's as you're saying that, it's like that effect that you have. It's and if one person can do it and it passes that down and it's like smiling as a leader and you're walking around the company, if you're the CEO, to walk around your company and smile, get to
Yeah.
know the people, get to know
Mhm.
the people. As I always say, in your company, they're your team members and your partners. They're not your employees, they're teams. And I love the acronym of team, which is together everyone achieves more. All right. And so I love what you just said. Okay. So Joni, big question here. So what are you working on as a leader right now? And how are you challenging yourself to grow?
So I am continually working on being the best leader I can be. That's an evolution. The more experiences you have, the more knowledge you create, the more things that you could help people with. So I feel, like I said, I feel like personal development is such a huge thing. Running with people, learning from people, whether it's through podcasts or classes or YouTube videos or coaches, Jaclyn, because sometimes everybody gets stuck,
Yeah.
right? Everybody gets stuck. And having that person that says, okay, let's look at this at a different way. What else can you do? Because in our business, it's a simple business. So the things are easy to do and they're also easy not to do. And that's a choice. So I think for me as a leader, I never want to stop growing. I never want to stop learning. And what I have learned over these 21 years is you really can do anything you put your mind to. You can learn anything, you can be taught anything. And I think with each step you take in that personal development, it brings you closer and closer to what you're supposed to be, who you are, and the joys that you spread and the people that you help. And your purpose here on earth is, I believe, is to help people and help people reach their potential.
I love that. So, Joni, I love having you on. This is absolutely amazing. So, I know you are such an inspiration. So, please share, how can our listeners get in touch with you? How can they find you? Where?
Love it. Jaclyn, this has been so fun. I love hanging out with you. I could hang out and chat with you all day.
Yep. So, share, where can our listeners find you?
So I'm on LinkedIn under Joanie Neenan. I'm on Instagram under Joanie Neenan. I'm on Facebook under Joanie Neenan. You could always email me at jonieneenan5@gmail.com. I am everywhere.
We will put all of your contact information in the show notes so everybody can find you. And seriously, to my amazing listeners, please connect with Joni because she is a true light, a great leader, has great inspiration. And I thank everybody for listening. And I hope you've enjoyed this amazing podcast, Unstoppable Leadership Spotlight with Game-Changing Insights. So I'm Jaclyn Stomminger, your coach, and I want to thank everybody for being on here. And thank you, Joni.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Okay, thanks.